Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I filmed this really pretty pink kind of burgundy cut crease. I really hope you guys liked it. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave me a nice comment to give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notifications and all of that. And now we're going to get into the video. So, to start off today's video, I am going to go ahead and go in with some concealer and go ahead and put this onto my eyelids just to prime for eyeshadow. So then once I get that blended in with my finger, I am just going to go in with this white shade that we are going to be using later in the tutorial. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this shade to set my whole entire eyelid. Then I'm actually going into my e.l.f. blush palette, and I'm taking that kind of terracotta shade, and I'm just taking this on my big fluffy brush, and I'm going to go ahead and start working this color into my crease area. This does not add much definition, but it does just add a little bit of something to the eyelids, and it just really starts off the look and gives us something to blend everything else out into. Then I'm going in with the bronzer that I'll be using today on that same fluffy brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply this shade kind of in the same areas, but I am just making sure to blend this up and make sure that it's very seamless, and it's just a little bit above the crease and not too much. And I am going to layer this shade up just a few times just to get the depth that I want. Then I'm going in with this kind of brick color from my Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this shade and create the crease that I want. I am just going right in my crease with this and just kind of flicking the shadow up at the edge of the eye, just because we're going to cut the crease out right below these shades. So I am just mapping out where I want to cut the crease out, where I actually want my crease to be, where I want the most pigmentation, and all of that. It just depends on your eye shape and how you prefer your cut creases. Then, of course, I will go back in with my fluffy brush and just really blend that out. I am dipping back into my Jaclyn Hill palette. I am dipping into the shade Creamsicle. It's just kind of like a light yellow shade. I did not show the palette, but that is the shade that I am dipping into to blend this out. And as you can see, I am blending from outer corner all the way to the inner corner. Next, I'm going in with this little single eyeshadow from Maybelline. It's just this really beautiful pink shade. And I am just taking this on a little small, precise brush. And I am just placing this kind of right on top of that brick color, but just a little bit higher up. I really want you to be able to see the pink color and that brick shade. I want them both to stand out, but then again, I also want them to blend together a little bit, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Then, of course, I'm going back in with my big fluffy brush just to blend everything out again. Next, I am taking that pink shade and I am just going to begin working this on to the outer edge of the eyelid. And as you can see, whenever I'm applying this, I'm not really patting it down or anything. I'm just getting some product onto my brush, putting the brush on the edge of the eyelid and just kind of working it around. I'm not trying to pat it down. I'm really trying to blend it and to make sure that it looks very seamless. Next, I am going to begin to cut my crease out. You guys have seen me do this before, but I just take some concealer and put the concealer on the very bottom of my lid, right where my lashes are, and then I will just look up and carve out the crease from where the concealer hits the top of my eyelids. This just really helps me carve my crease out because I have hooded eyes and it's difficult to see whenever my eyes are open and closed, like what shades you're going to be able to see the best and all of that. So whenever I cut my crease out like this, it just ensures to me that no matter if my eyes are closed or open, you're going to be able to see my eyeshadow, and you're really going to be able to tell that it's defined and very cut out. So, like I said, I'm just going through and cutting out my crease like this. I like to go little by little. I don't do one eye and then do the other eye. I like to do both eyes kind of like together. Just because I feel like it helps me keep my eyelids more even and makes everything look better. So now I'm just going in with that shade that we set the lid with. It's just this white shade from this Maybelline in the Nude palette. And I am just taking this on a little e.l.f. brush and I am just setting everywhere we put that concealer. This is a really pretty shimmery white shade. It's not too bright, but I feel like it goes really well with this pink and a brick color. So once I get that as pigmented as I want, I will just go back in with that small brush in that pink shade, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin blending the pink in with that white. I am not doing this too quickly. I am really taking my time with this. I am just picking up little by little and then just blending between the two shades. I feel like this is the most important part of the look because the blending of the shades is really what's going to make this eye look pop and make it look super professional and like you took forever on this makeup look. It's just really going to tie everything together. So once I get that blended to how I like it, I am just going to go back in with a different little brush in that brick shade, and I'm just going to go ahead and start darkening up the outer V. I was looking at my eyeshadow and I just felt like my outer corner needed to be a little bit darker, so I did just take some of this red shade and put it in the outer corner, kind of up into a V, and then I took it around the white part of the eyeshadow, just right in the inner corner, just to really define out that cut crease and just make everything look a little bit more intense and a little bit more dramatic. As you can see, just putting some shadow in the outer corner and then following the line all the way to the inner corner and just really cutting it out right above that white shade just defines the eyes so much more, makes them look bigger, makes the lid look bigger, and it just makes everything look a little bit more put together. As usual, I'm always saying that. Then, of course, I'm going to go back in with my big fluffy brush and just blend everything out ever so slightly. Then I did go back in and kind of go over the white shade just to clean it up a little bit if any got blended away. Then I will go back in with that pink shade and really make sure that you can see that shade. This is what I mean when I say this is the most important part, because I really want you to be able to see the brick shade, the pink shade, and that white. I want them all to blend into each other really seamlessly and really nicely, but it's just really hard to make sure you can see this pink shade with all the blending going on. So that's why I'm going to go back in and touch it up one more time. Next, I am taking a really small little lip brush from Morphe, and I'm actually spraying this with some setting spray. I think I used to use like a little NYX setting spray, and I am dipping into that white shade, and I am just using this little itty bitty brush to really define that carved out crease. This helped so much. It made my eyeshadow look so much more clean, and it just really helped this eye look come together. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to my face. I'm going in with my Benefit Porefessional Primer. I have not used this in forever, you guys. But I'm just taking this on my fingers and I'm just rubbing this all around the face, really making sure to press it into the skin and be sure that it's just nice and blended in. Next, I'm going in with this Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Foundation, and I am just taking this on my Beauty Blender and applying this all over the face. I have been loving this foundation, as I've told you guys many, many times. It's super, super full coverage, and it's just so cheap, and like, it works better than some of my expensive foundations, and this foundation is only like $13, so I will be sticking with this foundation for a while, you guys. And as usual, I am blending my foundation and down my neck just to make sure there are no harsh lines. Then I do like to just flip my Beauty Blender around to the side, and I will just go through and just kind of tap on my foundation and just make sure that everything is super lightweight and there is no cakiness anywhere. Next, for concealer, I'm going in with this LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Porcelain. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this and put it underneath the eyes, on the chin, nose, cupid's bow, and forehead, just to highlight those areas. Then, of course, I'm going to go in and blend these out with my Beauty Blender. I am just making sure to get this concealer really, really sharp at the edge of my eyeshadow just to clean that up and make everything look a lot better and a lot more put together, as usual. Then after getting everything blended in, I am going to go ahead and go in with my loose face powder, and I'm picking it up on this little, on my Beauty Blender, and I am just going to go ahead and take this powder and set underneath the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and set everywhere we put that concealer, just to really help those areas stay light and stay highlighted. And then after we do that, I'm going to go ahead and take my big fluffy brush with some more of that powder. And I'm just going to really, really lightly dust this onto the skin just to make sure that everything is set down. There's no tackiness on the skin or anything like that. Now I'm moving back onto the eyes, and I am taking that brick shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and this step is what's going to make that eye look really, really pop and look more look more cat-like, and really extend the eyes and make the eyes look bigger. I am just taking that brick shade and I'm just putting it on the lower lash line, but I'm extending it out to meet up with the outer corner of the eyeshadow on the top lid. Now this is just making the eyes look a lot more cat-like and just a lot more open and awake. And then I took that pink shade and I just ran some of that on the lower lash line as well, just to tie in that color. And now I'm just taking that white shade and I'm putting this on the inner corners of the eyes, on the lower lash line, just to really open the eyes up. And it just adds this effect that just makes your eyes look so much more just winged out and still open at the same time. I love putting light eyeshadow in the inner corners of my eyes, on the lower lash line and on the top lash line. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the face. I'm taking that same bronzing shade that we used in the crease of the eye. This is from my Tarte Pro Glow To Go palette. And I'm putting this all around the face, underneath my cheekbones and on the forehead. And I don't know why, but this picked up so patchy on my forehead. Like, I even went through after I applied it and I blended it out, as you can see right now. But for some reason, this bronzer just picked up really patchy on camera. I promise it did not look that bad, you guys. But then I'm also taking that same bronzing shade and I'm just going to run it down the sides of the nose and on the tip of the nose just to contour a little bit and add some color back to the nose area. Then I'm going back in with that e.l.f. blush palette, and I'm taking the two bright pinks, and I'm going to go ahead and mix them together and apply them to the cheekbones. They have just a little bit of shimmer to them, so they add just a slight glow to the face. And these colors I thought were really, really perfect, and they match the eye look super, super well. So I'm just applying those to the backs of the cheeks and working my way forward. And then I will just go over with my powder brush and blend everything out one more time just to make sure. Then for highlight, I'm going in with this Milani strobing powder. I think that's what it's called. And I am just taking this on a little e.l.f. brush, and I am just applying this to the cheekbones, to the chin, nose, cupid's bow, and above the brows, just to highlight all of those areas. And as you can see, I am not going light with this highlighter. I am going all out. This highlighter is beautiful. And then I'm taking that same shade just to highlight the brow bone and the inner corners of my eyes, just to keep everything the same and tie everything together. Then I am taking my big fluffy brush and just blending right at the highlighting shade to make sure there are no harsh lines. Next, I'm going to take my Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm using the shade in Light, and I am just taking this and putting it right in the inner corners of the eyes. Like I was saying earlier, I really do want the inner corners to be super, super bright and open, so this shade helped out a lot with doing that. Then I'm just going to go through and set my brows into place. You guys know the drill. I just brush my eyebrows upwards to make them look more full. Then I'm going in with this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Gloss, and I am just putting this all around the edges of the lips. And then once I get that put on, I am going in with my Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick. This shade is just a little bit more cool toned and a little bit lighter than the other shade. And I'm just putting this in the middle of the lips, and then I'm just kind of like blending the two shades together. And it just came out with this really beautiful kind of neutral toned, pinky, nude kind of shade. Okay, everyone, so this is the finished look. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. I love filming this look for you guys, as usual. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave me a nice comment, turn on those notification bells, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye!